Well, there it is. That's my weekend ride. That's the Enterprise. It's a Honda Silverwing. This is the issue I'm having with this bike. This bike was set up for somebody much taller than I am. As a matter of fact, I'll give you an idea of what I'm dealing with here. Here is the top of the windshield. This is the windshield. I should be able to see over the top, not through it. When I get caught in heavy rains and very fierce winds with heavy rains, this becomes a very major liability for me. Also, this thing tends to flex when I'm fighting the wind a lot. I'm thinking that this thing needs to be cut down. But before I do that, I cut this thing down. I'm going to put some marks on it on my with my tape measure. There you go. It's barely even noticeable from the front. That's what I want. But you can see it. This one's 4-inch. This one's 3.5 inch. This one's 3 inch. This one's 2 inch. And this one is 1 inch from the top. One of those two should be just about right. And when you sit down on the bike, now, if I sit upright, hold this right, this would be just about over the top, 3 inch. 3 inch would be just over the top. That one is probably more like it, because I can scoot down and still stay under it in the rain and stuff. Four-inch, I can still get underneath it, but I want something. I want it to be higher than stock. I mean, it's wider than stock, so I want to keep it higher than stock. So I'll ride with it like that for this weekend and see what I like. All right. These marks that I have made on the windshield. This one being 4 inches right here. They seem to be inadequate. If I'm sitting straight up and the way I should be sitting, I can see just over this. But my eyes tend to be somewhere around here. So since I want to see over the windshield when I am at rest and sitting the way I normally do, I'm going to have to add some marks. I plan to add a 1/2 inch and then a 5-inch mark on this. Unfortunately, this is just one of those little things you got to do. If you're going to do it and you're going to do it right, you got to be honest about how you sit on the bike. And yeah, I do kind of slouch from time to time. So that's where I'm at right now. I'm going to add marks. As you see right here, the lower mark is marked. It is number 5. This one is at 4.5. This one's 4. This one's 3.5. And this one is 3. My vision tends to fall like right around this area. But I still want to have a little bit of protection from the wind. I want the wind to blow up over the top and create that little bubble behind the windshield of the fairing. Hopefully I'll get it. I mean, I have a nice, with this thing, I mean, I don't know if you can see all the marks, the suicidal bugs that have hit the windshield since I've cleaned it last Friday over at the shop. With it up as high as it is providing a lot of protection. But when it gets to be rainy and a lot of wind, this thing becomes a major problem for me, and I need to be able to correct that. So that's just one of the steps you got to do. You got to be honest. How do you sit? Do you sit with your eyes up here, or do you sit naturally with your eyes down around here? You just got to be honest about it. Well, folks, I went ahead and did it after riding around for a couple days. As you can see right here, I brought the line all the way over. Same thing here, but I'm not overly convinced that it sits right. I just don't believe it's sitting right. So what I want to do is I want to make a template of the upper curve and then bring it down, see if it's sitting right. 4.5 inches seems to be about the right size. So I'll do a little running around with it like this, and I'll also get some batteries. This thing's about to die. So we'll see you soon. Alright, the way I see it, this is either going to turn out to be a really great video, or you're going to watch me destroy my windshield. Alright, the rest of that's what the sanding drums are for. Alright, let's see how well we did here. You can see I have a little bit of an angle right here. This is about where I ran out of top space here. Let's see what we got here. 12.5. Cool. We can do some finish sanding and clean this up and then clean the bike up. Well, there you have it, the finished product. I buffed it down. I got it all cleaned off. There's still a few imperfections, like right here you can see a little where the sanding drum got loose from me. There's still a few imperfections, as you can see. It's not perfect. It's a whole lot better than it was. Alright, I'm holding the camera where my eyes are directly at the level of the monitor on the back. My eyes are going just over here. If I slouch down, I still can get protection, which is what I want. It's still higher than stock and it's still wider than stock. So let's see if that makes a difference on mileage and handling and the whole 9 yards. Doesn't seem to be as flexible either. So, alright, I'm going to take this thing over to the car wash and get it all cleaned out. But yeah, that's basically how you do it. You cut them down. One way you could do it. Some people use a jigsaw. I don't know how they do that. But or a rotozip would probably be the same thing, since the rotozip is just basically a big Dremel. But there's plenty of ways that you can do these things. Well, I gotta get this thing all cleaned up right now. Get my tools cleaned up. Maybe I'll go for a ride and test out my new shorty windshield. Alright, that's all I got for right now. Lenaway Trekker, out.